The hardest interview questions to answer are behavioral questions. Now, behavioral interview questions include: tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult problem. Tell me about a time you had a conflict with a coworker, and tell me about a time when you had to work under pressure. Now, behavioral interview questions feature during 97% of job interviews. Therefore, if you have an interview coming up soon for any role or company and you want to beat the competition, stay tuned, because the tips, questions and sample answers I am about to give you will help you pass at the first attempt. And just very quickly, if you are new to my channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thousands of you are passing your job interviews at the first attempt. I can only help you if you are subscribed. And please give the video a thumbs up, hit that like button right now, because that really does motivate me to create more great content for you. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, let's jump straight into the tutorial. Okay, to make sure you pass your job interview at the first attempt, I will teach you the following 3 things in this video. Number 1, I will tell you what the top 7 most common behavioral interview questions are. If you prepare answers to these 7 questions, your chances of passing will literally skyrocket. Number 2, I will then teach you a simple, easy to remember structure you can use when answering behavioral interview questions that will help you get the highest scores possible. And then number 3, I will give you brilliant sample answers to all 7 behavioral interview questions that are perfect for all job interviews. Okay, to begin with, let me tell you what the top 7 most asked behavioral interview questions are. Please write these down because you will need to answer them at your next job interview. Here we go. Question number 1. Tell me about a time when you had to solve a problem under pressure. Question number 2. Describe a situation where you had to work as part of a team to accomplish a goal. Question number 3. Can you share an example of a time when you faced a difficult decision? How did you handle it? Question number 4. Give an example of a situation where you had to adapt to a significant change. Behavioral interview question number 5 is: tell me about a time when you had a conflict with a coworker or supervisor. How did you resolve it? Question number 6 is: describe a time when you made a mistake. What was the situation and what did you learn from it? And then behavioral interview question number 7 is: can you give an example of a time when you demonstrated leadership skills? And don't forget, very soon I will give you brilliant top scoring answers to all of those 7 questions. Okay, in this next section of the training video, let me teach you the best structure to use when answering behavioral interview questions. Please write this down. So the best way to answer behavioral interview questions is to use the STAR method, S-T-A-R. The STAR method stands for situation, task, action and result. S, so you begin your answer by outlining the situation you were in. T, you then give brief details about the task that needed doing. A, next you must give in-depth details about the action you took to achieve the task. And then R, you finish your answer by telling the hiring manager the result following your actions. So, whenever you answer behavioral interview questions in your job interview, make sure you use the STAR method because it is recognized by all hiring managers and you will get far higher scores. Okay, in this next section of the video, I will give you brilliant example answers to all 7 behavioral interview questions. Once I have given you the answers, I will tell you where you can download them. Here we go. Behavioral interview question number 1. Tell me about a time when you had to solve a problem under pressure. Here's my top scoring answer that uses the STAR method. In my last job, a supplier let the company down at the last minute. They were supposed to deliver urgent customer orders scheduled to be dispatched the same afternoon. My task was to find an alternative supplier who could deliver the products promptly to satisfy our customers. I researched alternative suppliers online and quickly found several options. I contacted the suppliers by telephone and hired the one that offered the best price and who could deliver the products immediately to our customers. By acting quickly and prioritizing our customers' needs, I successfully solved this time-sensitive problem. Behavioral interview question number 2 is, describe a situation where you had to work as part of a team to accomplish a goal. Here is my brilliant answer. My manager asked the team I was working on to seek ways to help save the company money. Our task was to collaborate closely to find innovative ways to save the company money, which would increase profits. I suggested we hold a team meeting. During the meeting, each team member could propose ways to save money. Once all suggestions had been proposed, I would deliver a presentation to my manager with the best options. Our ideas include renegotiating with suppliers, going paperless, buying in bulk, and bringing company marketing in-house to save on agency fees. By collaborating closely with each other during the team meeting and encouraging open discussions where no idea was off limits, we created proposals that, once implemented, helped save the company $3,000 a month. Behavioral interview question number 3 is, can you share an example of a time when you faced a difficult decision? How did you handle it? Here is my brilliant answer that uses a STAR method. In my last job, a disruptive team member caused problems. Despite speaking to him about his poor attitude and lack of contribution to the team, he continued to be disruptive. It was my task to consider my options and take action that was in the best interests of our team. I wrote down a list of the options I had available. I could do nothing and hope the problem went away. The other team members and I could work harder to make up for his lack of contribution, or I could speak to my manager to inform them of the problem and ask them to deal with the team member using company disciplinary procedures. After considering my options and what would be the best decision for the team overall, I decided to inform my manager. After taking this action, the team member was removed from the team following an investigation, and things then improved significantly. Although this was a difficult decision to make, it was the correct thing to do. Behavioral interview question number 4 is, give me an example of a situation where you had to adapt to a significant change. Here is my brilliant answer that uses a STAR method. A new manager took control of our department in my last job. They made numerous changes to working practices which some team members objected to. My task was to embrace the changes with a positive attitude, encourage other team members to do the same, and support my new manager. I read up on the new changes my manager wished to implement and set myself goals that enabled me to achieve my team's new objectives. Whenever I overheard my co-workers complaining about the changes, I challenged them. I explained why the change was positive and how it would empower the company to improve. Several weeks after the changes were implemented and other staff members adapted to them, we noticed a considerable improvement in the team's performance and output. Behavioral interview question number 5 is, tell me about a time when you had a conflict with a coworker or supervisor. How did you resolve it? Here is my brilliant answer that uses that STAR method. I was tasked with working on a time-sensitive project with a co-worker. We had been tasked with launching a new company product. We both had very different ideas for launching the product, which resulted in a conflict. My task was to resolve the conflict and then launch the product successfully. I sat down with my co-worker to discuss the product's launch. He wanted to use outdated offline advertising, whereas I wanted to use new online methods. I explained that by using online marketing methods such as social media advertising, we could track advertising spend and determine the return on the company's investment. I also showed my co-worker data that proved offline methods were no longer working. After I provided evidence as to why I felt my methods would yield better results, my co-worker agreed to use my strategy. We then worked closely on the product launch and achieved the best sales ever in the company's history for a new product. Behavioral interview question number 6 is, describe a time when you made a mistake. What was the situation and how did you learn from it? Here is my brilliant example answer that uses that STAR method. Here we go. When I first started work, I was responsible for multiple time-sensitive tasks and projects. Each project involved several meetings with co-workers, different departments and stakeholders. My task was to attend each meeting and then organise my workload accordingly. Now, unfortunately, I made a foolish mistake and failed to enter the date and time of one of the meetings in my diary because I thought I would remember it. This resulted in me being late for the meeting and underprepared. I learned a lot from my mistake. I immediately downloaded the work scheduling app Connect Team and started using it for all work-related meetings and task planning. I then also introduced the Connect Team app to the rest of my team and they started using it too, which helped increase productivity, resulting in something positive happening from my mistake. Behavioral interview question number 7 is, can you give me an example of a time when you demonstrated leadership skills? Here is my brilliant answer, again, that uses that STAR method. I had been working in my last job for 6 months when a new team member joined the department. I volunteered to train and coach them in their role to get them up to speed quickly. After my manager permitted me to lead the new team members' mentoring, I set to work. My task was to create a plan of action of what they needed to learn before teaching them the required standard. I sat down with them and assessed their current level of competence. I then created a training plan for the areas they needed to focus on and started teaching them for an hour each day over a 2-week period. During the training sessions, I supported them, asked them questions to ensure they understood, and provided in-depth training. By being methodical and organised in my teaching and mentoring, the new team member quickly became competent in their work, and my manager praised me for taking the lead on this important task. Okay, so there you have it. Brilliant sample answers to the 7 most asked behavioral interview questions. Now, if you want to download those exact answers plus an additional 27 brilliant responses to difficult behavioral interview questions, make sure you click that link right now in the top right-hand corner of the video. Head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can download those answers plus 27 more great responses to behavioral interview questions. Check out that link. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thousands of you are passing your interviews at the first attempt. I can only help you if you are subscribed. Please hit the like button because that really does motivate me to create more great content for you. And don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. I have put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. It's always an honor and a pleasure to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all the best for passing your job interview. Have a great day.